The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
Listen to the following amazing story. Rav Chaim Walken, Mashgiach in Yeshiva Teres Yisrael in Yerushalayim, said over that many years before, he was a ram in a small yeshiva, and he was looking for something bigger, something better. And there came a tremendous offer to be a Rosh Yeshiva. They were making ZT'L, another branch in Yerushalayim, in the old city. It was going to be over the green line. So he was very excited about it, but he said, before I take such a position in a yeshiva that's over the green line, I have to go ask the Gadol Hador Rav Shach. He went into Rav Shach, and he explained it. And by the way, it's Yedua that Rav Shach used to always be miyayitz people not to take positions if it was over the green line. Rav Shach was known, he used to tell people that you're going to see one day they're going to give everything back and destroy all the homes. What Ruach HaKodesh, what Chacham Adaf Minavi. That's what Rav Shach used to tell people. So Rav Chaim Walken came in and he asked Rav Shach, he presented the whole story. Rav Shach looked at every yachid, his picture. Rav Shach sat there and thought for a few minutes, and Rav Shach said, for you, I think it will be a good thing, and you should take it. And he was so excited. Mamash now become Rosh Yeshiva in this new branch of ZT'L. He was very excited. He left Rav Shach's apartment, and he says immediately he went to a payphone, and he called from the payphone the people in Valley. He's going to take the job and be gewaldig, be a nice salary and everything. Very excited. He got back to his home in Yerushalayim where he lived, and then he got a phone call to the house. The phone call was somebody calling one of the Mishamshim from Rav Shach's house. And they said that where are you now? He said, it's in Yerushalayim. He said, okay, it's no rush. You don't have to come back to Bnei Brak. But the next time you're in Bnei Brak, Rav Shach would like if you would come visit him again. So Rav Chaim Walken said this over, and he said he understood probably has something to do with this last story. And it's probably worth my while not to wait. I'm going to go back right now. And he got back in his car, and he drove back over, went back to Bnei Brak, and he came back to Rav Shach. Rav Shach said, oh, you're back? Huh? So Rav Shach said, I want to tell you, I just want to clarify one thing. That to my Talmidim who ask me, I always tell them, don't take a shtella, don't take a job over the green line. But I want you to know, that's what I tell my Talmidim. I just want you to know that. But for you, I hold it's a good zach. But for you, I feel it's a good thing. So Rav Chaim Walken said, he immediately told back Rav Shach, but I consider myself a Talmud from the Rosh Yeshiva. So Rav Shach told him, Taka, you consider me a Talmud? You consider yourself a Talmud of mine? He says, yes, I do. And I want to hear what the Rosh Yeshiva tells me to do as a Talmud. So Rav Shach said, Oy bazoi, sollst du nicht gehen. If so, don't go. So he said he didn't ask questions. He left Rav Shach's apartment. He immediately went to a payphone, called, and said he's retracting. And he said he went back to his other job, what he did, and he was disappointed. But he's mekabel what Rav Shach said to do as a Talmud. He said, a couple weeks later, there's a knock on his door in Yerushalayim, and there standing a younger man. He says, I have the envelope here from Rav Shach, and he gave him an envelope. He takes the envelope. Inside is a $100 bill. What's going on here? So he called Rav Shach's house, and he spoke to the Mishamish, Rav Rafi Wolf, and Rav Rafi Wolf tells him, he said, what is this money? He said, this is not tzedakah money. Rav Shach took $100 out of his own pocket, and he sent it to you, because he feels he took away from you, Lamaisa's psak, he took away from you a position that would pay much more money. And he feels he owes you something, so he sent you $100. And if he wanted to give it back, I told Rav Shach. Rav Shach said, no, you have to take it. Fine. He took it. Okay, that sounds very nice. But listen to this. Rav Chaim Walken said, for the next 4 years, every Erev Rosh Chodesh, every single month, there was a knock on the door, a shliach from Bnei Brak, with an envelope with $100. You know what that means? 12 months a year. He sent them $100 in those days, $100, $100 American dollars every month, because he felt an achrayus that Lemaisa, he did it because of his psak. he didn't get a Stella that would have paid more money. And he felt that he has to compensate him for that. He said that 4 years later, when he got a choshev mashkiach job that paid nicely, that's when Rav Shach stopped sending the envelopes. The message we have to learn from this story is that many times we do something, it's not going to be a psak, but we do something. Let's just say a random example. Someone has to lay off someone from a job. A boss, an employer has to lay off an employee from a job. I said, listen, that's the right thing what to do. I even asked Das Torah. It's not proper cut out for my job. Rav Shach gave him a psak for his Talmidim. And he said, I'm a Talmud, and he followed the psak. But Rav Shach said, L'maisai was goyrim, through my actions, through my psak, he's losing some money. Rav Shach felt an acharayis to make sure, to give him steady money, that there shouldn't come out a loss from his action, what he did. This is something we have to internalize. We do something. We feel we're doing the right thing. We may be doing the right thing, like Rav Shach's psak was the right thing. But yet, if from our actions come out some kind of hurt to someone, we have to learn from this lesson that we have to take responsibility and do what we can to somehow send the money to the person, to somehow take care of the person, that no ramifications that could hurt the person should come out from our actions.
You've just experienced
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org